G'day, Mel James, and welcome to Market in a Minute, 13th of August 2019. Having a bit of a coffee this morning, reading the Australian, and get to the business age section, and this is what I actually read. The fall in demand of home loans, which has pushed credit growth to its slowest place on record, has been caused by a lack of buyer interest, according to top Commonwealth Bank executives. I'm not so sure that's the case, or maybe this has been slightly misquoted. Let's have a look at a bit of history here. In 2016, the market was actually rocking along pretty strongly. Why? Because we had a lot of money coming in from China, and we had a lot of money available from the big four banks, and the market was going up. That's how markets go up. They go up because more money is put into the market via cash, which was like from the Chinese people, or more money comes into the market from credit. But then in 2019, we've started to see the market's been going down. It hasn't been going all that well. Why not? Well, partly because we no longer have the same level of Chinese interest, true. But probably even more importantly, the local economy has had the money starved from it, has had it taken away by the banks. They're not giving us any credit. So in the current Asic hearings, which is where I read that particular article from, there's a discussion now about, well, is it demand? Is it lack of interest? In other words, is it the chicken or the egg as to why the market's dropping off? Is it the buyers aren't there, or is it there's no money for the buyers who are there? I think you'll find that it's actually about the banks. It's about the credit. And I'm not saying that's been a bad thing to slow it up at all, but it's not about demand. There is demand for properties. It's just that the people, when they go to borrow some money, they're sick of the privacy interruptions that are now being asked by these new rules in borrowing money. They're sick of making so much of an effort and then only to be told quite regularly, no, and for no real reason that we can see. So if you're going to see some improvement in the economy and some improvement in the property sector, there's got to be a lot of change in things. In other words, a 7-day turnaround when you go to a bank, instead of a 3-month turnaround, you need a 7-day turnaround as to whether you can borrow some money or not. You actually also need, instead of being asked 100 questions, what about 10 questions? You know, it's a bit like an insurance policy at the moment. You get asked 3 questions and they give you the policy, but if you have to make a claim, there's so many pages to fill out, you almost give up. That's exactly what's happening at the moment with loans. And similarly, let's focus on the repayment question rather than having a banker tell me as to whether I'm having too many spaghetti bologneses or not. That's the other sort of thing. So if you want to see the market going up in 2020, there needs to be more credit in the economy, more sensible credit in the economy, and that's got to come from these guys. That's got to come from these guys improving how they deal with their customers. I'm Mel James.